Support Wrestle Talk!
Click the thumbs up.
It's WrestleMania 34 predictions time. I'm Ollie Davis. This is Luke Owen. Welcome to WrestleRamble. And this is not just going to be me versus Luke in these predictions. It's not just going to be us versus Wrestling with Regrets Bryan Zayn, who cruelly and dastardly destroyed your hat, Luke.
That little bugger he is.
We will also be going up against our lady partners. That's right, it's one of the big 4 or 5 if we include Money in the Bank. We did it for Royal Rumble. You all seem to like it, weirdly. Our lady partners, who have very little knowledge of wrestling and don't particularly like it, have given us their predictions for each match too.
They certainly have, although my wife has just literally told me the people she thinks will win, as opposed to giving reasons this time round. I asked her if she could possibly give some reasons, give some context for her choices, but she's been very busy at the moment, so I only have her choices.
Well, I've got a little line for each one, and in one notable case, just no prediction.
Wow.
It's just a missed off prediction, and she said, "Oh, do you want me to give you one? I don't know who they are." And I said, "It's funnier this way. You'll see what I mean." So, of course, Wrestling with Regrets predictions are going to go up on his channel. We will link to it when that's up. So there might be a weird bit where there is no video beneath us when we do the plugs at the end. But in the spirit of the women's revolution that we have embraced by allowing women to partake in our big 4.
We are embracing them with power.
Yeah.
What was that documentary they did, the 24 one? Empowering. We're empowering them with the options of letting us know what they think will happen on a show they don't care about.
Because our white male privilege is letting us do this. So thank you, white male. Let's all take a moment to acknowledge our white male privilege and say thank you, white male privilege, for letting us to involve ladies.
But also we need to...
weird roundabout world this is.
It really is. And we should almost have a bit of a callback to our old movie podcast where we should apologise for also being a straight white male.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
No?
No, I'm not an apologist. I'm going to apologise for... I think it's much better that I apologise for being dumb a lot of the time.
Yep.
And not very good at wrestling predictions. So, in the spirit of the women's revolution, as we said, we will kick off with the kickoff of the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. You might not recognise that name. It used to be called the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, but they've changed it to just WrestleMania. Did you hear about the Chris Jericho story?
I did not.
So apparently, when all this controversy was happening about the Fabulous Moolah name, Chris Jericho said he texted Vince McMahon and said, "You should call it the Sensational Battle Royal, after like the Sensational Sherry." And apparently Vince just texts back, "THX, thanks." You know?
Oh, right. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
shut up.
I thought it wasn't a case of just like he's a big fan of George Lucas's big sound design thing that he created.
No, it was just Vince's way of saying, "Shut up, Chris. Nobody asked your opinion."
Yep.
But he came up with the Money in the Bank match idea. You got to give the man some credit. So we have very few people sort of confirmed for either of the battle royals.
They've been confirmed 2 more names since we created
Have
this list.
they?
They've confirmed Absolution in there.
And we might get an extra match. Maybe Banks and Bayley. I think that's going to go on.
That's going on. That's going in this.
Here.
Let's be honest.
So, out of all of these people, I will let you go first, and I'll go. Then we'll do our lady partners.
So we currently have
do our
listed
lady partners.
nightly, mate. So currently we have got Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Natalia, the Riot Squad, and Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose confirmed for this. No doubt there'll be some NXT lasses in there as well. My prediction for this is Becky Lynch.
No, really?
Becky Lynch, absolutely. I think that Banks and Bayley are going to possibly eliminate each other, or there'll be some shenanigans where one eliminates the other one gets back in and throws the other out. But I don't think either of them will be involved in the finish, and I think this will go to the last kicker herself.
Interesting. Well, I've got a bit more faith in the Banks Bayley storyline. I think that's the hottest feud outside of the championship matches. To be honest, it's a better feud than Charlotte versus Asuka, storytelling-wise. So it's the second best one. I think they're going to cement the Do I think, or am I hoping? I'm hoping they're going to cement the Banks heel turn, and she's going to turn on Bayley, and Banks is going to win. Maybe they even start to team up throughout the match, and then there's the turn at the end.
If they team up in this match, that would be absolutely ridiculous.
It'll be a reluctant team up, though. But you can tell that story throughout the match. So I've gone for those two. Who was your lady partner gone for?
My lady partner has also gone for Sasha Banks.
Right.
She likes the boss.
My lady partner has also gone for Sasha Banks. So you are
I'm
in the
I'm
minority
off the
here.
curve here, me.
So because my lady partner didn't know who a lot of people were, so she would Google them, because she has good hair, and I don't know the others.
Well, I do remember when we did the Royal Rumble predictions, my lady partner would never have picked Becky Lynch out of pure jealousy. So I think she's gone for Sasha Banks based off that reason.
But I did mention that Carmella hasn't been confirmed, but she could feature.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah,
I literally forgot about her.
But maybe they'll keep her off to make it more of a surprise if she does do an attempted cash-in. My lady partner's a big fan of Carmella's music.
Well,
So
who
she
isn't?
would go for that. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, also on the kickoff show. That's already been confirmed by WWE. I'll go first this time,
Well,
I guess.
you have written
man, I don't care.
You've written some names on here that haven't been confirmed
I just
for
put
this.
This was more
You
for my
did-
lady partners.
You did this in the Royal Rumble. You put CM Punk's name on there, which I took off when I sent across to my lady partner, or my wife, because I thought that was very unfair to give the Punk option.
Don't rule it out, man.
I'm ruling it out,
I
man.
think Conor McGregor's winning this one. How about... Who would have thought Conor McGregor would have had the best go-home angle on WrestleMania week?
Oh, dearie me. Well,
Wow.
Ruining a whole UFC card.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, way to build up a heel. It's one of the most exciting stories I've ever seen.
Well,
in terms of combat sports or wrestling. Oh, obviously it's deplorable.
I was going to
the
say,
guy's a lunatic.
let's not sensationalise this.
But how can you not sensationalise it? A guy did he fly over from Ireland to sort of gate crash this?
Well, he basically there was a tweet that Ariel Helwani retweeted this, and it really made me laugh. Was just I'm not condoning Conor McGregor's actions, but find yourself a friend that will fly across the world so that he will join you in a fight.
I'd do it for you, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, we'd have to be going over.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to come over if we were taking the job.
Taking the fall.
But yeah, I think that how can you? It's already sensational. It's an incredible pro wrestling storyline. It just so happens to kind of be real.
Well, I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see what charges are brought against him and the severity of those charges. I know that Dana White was Dana White essentially said that he is just not going to do business with him anymore. When someone said, are you going to do business with him? He just went, would you?
Yeah.
So he has essentially confirmed that he's done.
The most serious thing for me is the severity of the injuries. I read that someone got glass in their eye.
They certainly
which is
did,
very,
yeah.
that's
Borg got
a horrible thought
which is
to
why
get glass in your eye.
he's been pulled off the card. Big shame.
Anyway, I am going. God, I don't.
Have a pick
it
for this. It shows how little we care about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal when we're actually more interested in talking about the news. I'd rather talk about Keith Lee wrestling at WrestleMania Access.
Are you going to pick Keith Lee?
I would love to pick Keith Lee for this. Keith Lee, Matt Riddle won the Evolve Championship. Jerry Lawler had a match with Joey Ryan, or at least he accosted Jerry Ryan. So
Luke likes independent wrestling.
Isn't
Isn't Luke cool?
Oh, look at him. Look, Mr. Cool over here.
I'm going to go for Woken Matt Hardy via Woken Bray Wyatt assist.
I was also going to go for Woken Matt.
Yeah, both of us. Oh, would you look at that?
My wife, because of your erroneous listings, has picked Samoa Joe, which I think is unfair.
So has my lady partner, Samoa Joe, because he's so big looking.
Yeah, but I think it might be unfair that we have listed them down because they might not even be in the match. I think Joe's going to return the Raw after Mania. Do you know what my prediction is? The Raw after Mania. Roman Reigns comes out to do the promo he did last year where he doesn't say anything, just stands in the middle of the ring while everyone boos him. And while he's doing that, Joe comes out from the crowd and puts the Coquina clutch in. And that's his return.
Baby face pop.
Yeah, that's his return.
I like how you think me putting Samoa Joe's name in the possible options is what's stopping our lady partners from having a clean sweep of correct predictions.
They could have at least picked someone who's actually confirmed.
Okay, so Cruiserweight Championship match, the culmination of the tournament for 12 weeks. 10 weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali.
Certainly, this should be quite a good match, actually. We've got so we have a 2-hour pre-show here with 3 matches, 2 of which are battle royals. This is the only match that's on the card that's of any value. And if given time, if this is given 15-20 minutes, it could be a really great match. And they've got bloody time. What else are they going to do? Just speak to bloody Rosenberg for half an hour about what he thinks about John Cena? We could just have a match with these two.
Social media lounge.
Well, Charlie Caruso has got something to do, I suppose.
At least going to be 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
Who's going to be Maria Menounos?
Yeah, Maria Menounos. She's got to do some stuff there. You've got Sam Roberts. He's got to do some gubbins around. Maybe Jerry Lawler's going to give his thoughts on a product that he doesn't watch. There's all this stuff that you've got to fit into this 2-hour pre-show. I just think you could at least set aside 20 minutes of that to give the Cruiserweight some time and then not put it on the Blu-ray. They don't get any royalties. Just give them that,
Yeah, I mean, like anyone buys the Blu-ray in 2018.
Well, yeah.
I want to see how big that royalty actually is. But if you're on the pre-show...
It was enough for Austin Aries to leave.
I think that was probably just a straw that broke a camel's back. It's your turn to go first.
I think... Oh, it's tough. Because although I've just been bigging it up, I'd have been more interested if this was someone like Drew Gulak, or it had been Buddy Murphy, or if it had been my hopeful prediction of Rockstar Spud. I think these two are really great. I think there are better people within this tournament. Like Roderick Strong was in this tournament. I think Tozawa would have been a better choice. There's all these other guys I'd have picked above these two. But I'm going to pick Cedric.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Cedric as well.
Yeah.
It's, you cannot fault these guys in ring work.
Oh, God, you cannot.
I love Mustafa Ali's reverse 450 finisher. Cedric Alexander, we talk about him all the time.
So good.
We did all our fantasy bookings for the Cruiserweights were pushing Cedric Alexander, so but that's purely because how good in the ring he is. In terms of character, there's not much to these guys, whereas other performers have a lot more oomph and dimension to them. So yeah, it's kind of like WWE have gone for generic babyface. It kind of like when TJP won the original Cruiserweight tournament. So, and maybe that's the bad side of Triple H booking stuff. He almost values in-ring work too much, whereas Vince McMahon is give him a disco ball and a Funkasaurus gimmick. There's probably a healthy medium in there
somewhere. My wife also picked Cedric.
My lady partner didn't care.
Oh, this was the one she missed.
One she did not. She just said, "Oh, I don't know what that is." So, she
should have watched that 4-way from a couple of weeks ago. We're belting.
Yeah. So next up, the Raw Tag Team Championship match: The Bar versus Braun Strowman and a mystery partner.
So, do we want to have 2 predictions here? One of who is going to win and who the mystery partner is?
I think yes.
Yes, I think yes as well. I went first last time, therefore it is your turn.
Okay.
You hate going first, don't you?
Only on ones where I don't know. Because I like you to argue for me. And I'm like, okay, that's a good point. I'll use that. Okay, so I think Braun is winning. But it's close. Like, this isn't... I'm not 100% set on that at all. Braun Strowman's initials are BS, by the way. Just wrote that down, kind of. Mystery partner. Who's the mystery partner? I don't want to say Rey Mysterio. I don't want to give Sports Illustrated the credence.
Don't want to give Justin Barrasso anything.
Okay, I'm going to go with Mysterio because it would fit with that WWE WrestleMania surprise thing. That will probably become a spot over the next few years based on how well the Hardy stuff went down last year. So yes, I'm going to go for Mysterio, and if not Mysterio, my backup pick is Kenny Omega.
CM Punk.
Imagine that.
CM Punk return confirmed. I'm also going with Braun, with the partner being James Ellsworth.
Okay, you're sticking with that.
I'm sticking with my Ellsworth prediction. I think that the way, if it were me, if I was booking this, I would have had Braun come out on his own. The commentator's going like, well, where's his partner? Who's the partner going to be? He just walks backstage and just drags out the limp body of James Ellsworth, drags him all the way down the WrestleMania ramp,
kill,
and just throws him against the apron, and then has the match. And then during the match, The Bar get the heat, and they start beating him down, and it builds to a James Ellsworth hot tag. The crowd amping in anticipation for Ellsworth to tag, and he's just there like just propped up on the apron, holding out an arm to get a tag, and he just goes in, gets destroyed by the Bar because he's James Ellsworth, and then Braun gets the hot tag again, and he wins.
That is superb. I would prefer that to happen.
Yeah.
I think Mysterio is going to be the one. My lady partner went for Braun Strowman and the mystery partner because of some classic wrestling logic. Because it should be someone good if it's a mystery.
Whoa, she's not wrong there.
Well, if it's James Ellsworth, though.
That's great. Yeah, it's a great show. My wife has also picked Braun and the mystery partner.
Next up, one of the most... This is the one I'm most looking forward to. Actually, let's have a look at the card.
I was going to say, there's some matches on here that I think could be ones I'm really looking forward to.
You know what? From an in-ring standpoint, I'm looking forward to the 3-way SmackDown Tag Team Championship match over AJ Nakamura.
Well, when they sort of first teased that, I was a bit like, oh, why are you doing the Usos and the New Day fast? And that's when I suddenly had this epiphany. I was like, oh my God, they're going to do the 3-way at WrestleMania. And as soon as I thought, I was like, I had the flashbacks of Revival, DIY, and Authors of Pain. I was like, this match could be... I'm so excited for this match. I think this is the first match we talked about on this card that I'm genuinely really looking forward to. I am stoked for this match. I think it's going to be an absolute barn burner. Hashtag barn burner.
And so who are you going for?
Oh, it's a tough one. It's the Usos' first time on the main roster. I don't think putting the belts on the New Day is really the best thing to do right now. But do you put the belts on the Bludgeon Brothers? I'm going for an Usos retention.
Whoa! I'm going Bludgeon Brothers win.
And
then it's like a reign of dominance in the tag division. How can they be usurped, and then the Usos and New Day maybe come together again? SummerSlam time.
I like that. That's very good. Yeah, that'd be quite good. I'm really behind that idea. I'm sticking with my Usos retention, despite my love for the Hammer Brothers. I'm sticking with the brothers.
In the spirit of Hammer-based objects. Thank you to everyone who got in touch for what we should call the sort of little community that's on Wrestle Talk's Patreon, because it's very nice there and everyone talks to each other, it seems, as Luke informed me.
Yes.
I might dip in and have a chat.
You should have. They're lovely people.
Yeah. But we don't have a name for them. You know, everything else is like Swaft Nation or the Pod Swafters for the podcast fans, After Swafters for people who watch this show on YouTube but then listen to the podcast bits on audio form. Pledgehammers.
Pledgehammers.
The Pledgehammers.
Pledgehammers.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, yeah, I love that. I can't remember, again, playing on an old gimmick here. Can't remember who said it, but I thought it was a great suggestion.
Should have written that down.
Yeah, we should have
got
done.
a hell of a lot of upvotes.
Yeah, well, you and I really should just do it better in terms of writing down, like, when you see something on Reddit, just jot down who said it.
I don't know when... I read so many things on Reddit, the clue's in a name. I can't write down everything I read, and when I want to steal their opinions later on.
It's too much.
The whole show would just be footnotes.
Could be.
We do. Okay, lady partner predictions.
My wife has gone for the New Day.
Really, yes. My lady partner also has the New Day because they have fun, colourful outfits and the best name.
The New Day?
Yep.
Well, I mean...
Apparently it's a good name.
No, Bludgeon Brothers is the best name out of those three.
I think that's the best name for a stinky boy. Whereas a beautiful smelling girl likes the idea of a new day. Yeah. Oh, and look how colourful their outfits are.
Very true.
I even said to her, they wear unicorn horns sometimes down to the ring. And she went, do they? Like, that was the most interested she's ever been in wrestling outside of Glorious, that is Bobby Roode's theme tune.
That is what Vince McMahon always wanted.
Yeah. But yeah, I really am actually in-ring wise looking forward to that match the most. I think that's going to have the most drama. As
long as they're given time. We do have to remember this is it's a 13 match confirmed card, could be a 14 match card, but even if we're just sticking with a 13 match card, that's a lot of wrestling even to fit within a 7-hour show. So this really could be an absolute show stealing match, a weekend stealing match, if it's given time, because if it only gets 7 minutes, then it's not really going to be the great in-ring match we want it to be. But if it's given that 15, 20 minutes that it needs, it could be an absolute incredible match.
If it's a Bludgeon Brothers squash match, although that's kind of cool, I don't think now's the time to do that because you just kind of did that at Fastlane. But yes, United States Championship match.
Speaking of matches you don't care about.
I didn't care about it until Rusev, rumoured to have asked for his release or merchandise sales, whatever reason you want to put for it. You showed me the WrestleMania program earlier.
Yeah, I saw someone share it on Twitter. It was Matthew of Botchamania retweeted it, so I can't remember who originally shared the image. But it was from the WrestleMania program, and you can tell how late in the day the decision was made for Rusev to be added into this match, because in the program, it's just his head. So you got like the head and body of Bobby Roode, the head and body of Randy Orton, and the head and body of Jinder. And then in the background, you just have Rusev's head on top of like a shaded out, almost like vacant.
It's vacant.
It's
body.
vacant silhouette with Rusev's face just superimposed onto it. So yeah, very much a last minute thing.
Kind of in a Bohemian Rhapsody configuration.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like that.
He's
I see a little silhouette of a man. Yeah, it's very much that way.
Maybe that's the new Rusev Day song they can parody.
Oh, Aiden English would be fantastic at that
Rusev
as well.
Rhapsody.
Yeah,
Bohemian
Rusev would be.
So yes, it's Randy Orton defending his United States title against Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. Tough one.
I got to go first, so it's your turn to go.
So this is a tough one because my heart is screaming Rusev, singing Rusev Day, but my head is like, no, the company are behind. Look, these are like three such company guys. Randy Orton has been the company guy forever. Jinder Mahal was the company guy last year when they were trying to spearhead their expansion into India. And Bobby Roode was like the company guy in NXT, one of Triple H's chosen clones. As much as I love Bobby Roode, that was only being facetious there. I'm going to go Rusev. I'm going to trust in my heart.
You're going with Rusev.
Trust in my heart.
I am going for Bubbles via heel turn.
Ooh, that works.
I think
works.
Roode is recapturing it. I'm thinking maybe even like a punt to the knob of Randy Orton into a glorious DDT, and that's how he's going to win the belt. I think he's going to get like a proper low blow, solidify this heel turn for Bobby Roode, and then we can kind of set off on a much better year for him. Fingers crossed.
You've given me an image of what I now want Bobby Roode's finisher to be, the glorious punt, where they're just, someone's lying down on their back, but their legs are sort of spread eagled, and Bobby Roode can set up like Randy Orton used to for that punt.
Yep.
Just punt, kick him in the dick.
Kick him in the dick, mate.
Kick him straight in the dick.
A friend of mine, actually my best man at my wedding, his wife
Bring that up again.
always used to say, we once took her to a local wrestling show, and her argument she's always had with wrestling is just like, why don't wrestlers just kick each other in the head? Because surely that's the quickest way to take someone down. So any move that involves like someone being kicked really hard, preferably in the head, or in that case, in the groin, that would be what we would call a Nikki-approved move.
Right. I mean, it's an illegal move.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to do it. Well, Goldust did it for years with Shattered Dreams.
So my lady partner has also gone for Bobby Roode.
Well,
she did not talk about heel turns, but the reason is for the music.
Well, my wife has picked Rusev. Whoa!
Yes. I mean, this is heel turns of our own respective partners there. Next up is the Raw's version of the mid-card feud, another multi-person match.
Got to get everyone on the card, brother.
Jeez. Wow. I mean, I'm a bit exhausted now by multi-person matches.
Well, we did get an email about that last week, didn't we? It was like, WWE doing too many multi-person matches, and yeah, I mean, going by this card.
Yeah. So The Miz is defending his Intercontinental title against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
Finn Bluer. My turn to go first. I'm going, for the Architect. I think that Seth Rollins is capturing the IC gold, and then him and, Balor can feud over it while Miz has his paternity leave.
Do you think Miz is going away?
Yeah, I could see Miz going away for a while, and then when he comes back, it's about him trying to recapture the IC belt so he can become the longest reigning IC champ.
That sounds like a babyface storyline.
Well,
it feels like they're trying to turn him babyface. I think that's a real bad.
Oh, that's a terrible idea. It's a dreadful idea. Remember the last time that Miz was a babyface? You and I caught a little glimpse of it when we watched an old pay-per-view for the Patreon exclusive podcast. Was it Money in the Bank 2011 when Miz was on the pre-show? And it was when like Ric Flair had endorsed him and given him the figure 4.
Yes.
And we were like, this is dreadful. Why are we, no one's cheering for the Miz. No one's cheering for babyface Miz.
Man, I don't know. I don't, because it could go several ways here.
Could go 3 ways technically.
Yes. I'm going to go Miz. I'm going to go
You go
Miz.
Miz retention.
Yes.
Interesting.
I think because he's got hasn't his new show is coming to a climax soon. He's had the kid. They won Mixed Match Challenge. Apparently, they were super baby facing it up there as well with all the dog charity stuff. Sorry to bring up dogs in front of you. So yeah, I'm going to go Miz retention.
Interesting.
And my lady partner has gone for Finn Balor because of the makeup.
But do we know if we're getting the makeup? Because they haven't announced it being the Demon.
Yes.
So they've just announced it as Finn Balor. So it could likely just be Balor coming out with all of his lovely abs and his jacket.
Is that what your lady partner's gone for?
No, she's
Finn Balor because of the abs.
I'm surprised she didn't pick Finn Balor because she finds him very attractive. But she's actually gone with Seth Rollins.
Who's also very attractive.
Yeah, he's also got wonderful abs.
I'm hard for him.
You are.
That came out. That felt really crude saying that. Alexa Bliss defending her title against Nia Jax on the Raw women's side.
Yep. Your turn to go first.
Obviously Nia Jax. It's my gal Nia Jax.
Gotta go Jax.
And you can't really tell this storyline with Alexa Bliss bullying Nia Jax in the way that she has without ending with Jax getting her revenge in the feel-good moment at the biggest show of the year. So definitely Jax. If they do it any other way, I think that's a mistake. And I don't think Carmella should cash in here either. If she does cash in, maybe the next night.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm going also for a Jax win. I don't know. I wonder if they are going to do the Carmella cash in because they keep talking about, well, Michael Cole at least keeps talking about the Seth Rollins cash in at Mania 31 and about how it's like this great WrestleMania moment. I think they've really built this idea up that cashing in at WrestleMania is like this really big momentous thing because it really was. I'll never forget Rollins cashing in and the excitement that came with that. So I wonder whether because it's the first Women's Money in the Bank that they'll do it here as well. I don't know. I think it'll either be on WrestleMania or they'll do it the night after against Jax. But I do think Jax is winning here.
And your lady partner?
Has also gone with Nia Jax.
As has mine, because of the T-shirt song and tweeting you.
It's up there.
She's written. Yes, it is.
Well, on that T-shirt that I got you for Christmas.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
SmackDown Women's Championship now. Charlotte Flair defending against Asuka.
So the rumour being that Asuka is not only going to win here, she's going to retain through till WrestleMania 35, where she'll then have a match against Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, which some sites have even said could be the main event of the show, the actual main event, the last match on the card. So I'm going for Asuka here. I think it's the only result that makes sense.
Exactly. Same here, Asuka. There's not much more to say on that.
No, I think taking away the undefeated streak at this point would be absolutely ridiculous.
But so WWE.
No, so WWE would have been to do it on SmackDown.
Yes, or Fastlane.
Or at Mixed Match Challenge.
So my lady partner is one of the ones who hasn't gone for Asuka, though.
Wow.
Because she told me last night, streak's got to end sometime. Sounds boring.
Well, going by YouTube comments, but we get a lot of comments in here that are bored by Asuka's streak.
She compared, because she doesn't like Superman. And I'm always trying to say, look, that he is a good character. I get the criticism that he is invulnerable, and that takes away a lot of the dramatic impact. But when he's done right, it's good. But she says, it sounds like Superman to me. Well, why would you want a streak? Like, I know she's not going to lose. I'm like, no, but you like the streak, so you don't want her to lose. There's always something on the line that makes it. Anyway, Charlotte Flair, because of her flips and gymnastic ability.
Wow,
yes.
That's a hell of a reason to pick her.
Because she once saw a match where Charlotte did the moonsault off the turnbuckle to the outside, the twisting one. I can't remember. Was that WrestleMania?
It was WrestleMania a couple of years ago, yeah.
And she likes the makeup that Charlotte has, the sparkly things on her face.
Does she still do the sparkly thing?
I haven't seen it for a while. Oh, who's going to wear a Wonder Woman outfit? That's the other prediction. Mickey James, Sasha Banks. I think it's Charlotte's turn.
No, well, you said to me when we did the WrestleMania 25 Patreon podcast that apparently Charlotte's getting like a big Triple H-esque entrance this year.
Yeah, that's one. I think she said that in an interview. Yeah, I forgot about
she's
that.
getting a massive entrance. I think this match, of all the women's matches on the card, this is one that's going to be given the most time.
Yes, I agree. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus
mate.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
A feud I was really starting to go down on because it wasn't going anywhere.
You went down on a feud.
Yeah, a couple of times. And then they've just turned it around in this last couple of weeks because D-Bry is medically cleared and he's wrestling again. And boy, howdy am I excited to see him again.
It's like Daniel Bryan medically cleared. Yay! Shane McMahon also medically cleared. Oh, are you sure? So yes, that's happening. It's tremendously exciting and one that really is the catalyst for me going, WrestleMania, I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. I'm in WrestleMania fever mode. I don't even think I will get WrestleMania fatigue this year.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm so excited about WrestleMania and the surrounding celebrations and other shows. Ring of Honor Supercard, which I'm going to try and watch bits of on Sunday, NXT, and the Raw and SmackDown and Mania itself, and it is really down to Bryan. He's the pivot point there.
It's funny as well because you and I even had this conversation when Bryan was medically cleared. Like we just came into work that day, beaming smiles. Yes. We were in just such a good mood, and it was on that day that I was just like, do you know what? Like, now I'm looking at the rest of the card, and all of a sudden I feel excited about more of the matches. And it was just the inclusion of Daniel Bryan. There was stuff that I previously was excited about, but just didn't realise I was excited by it.
Yes.
Then I found out that Daniel Bryan was wrestling, and I'm like, oh, actually, I am looking forward to Ronda Rousey Day. I am looking forward to Charlotte Asuka. I am looking forward to that SmackDown tag team match. Oh, God, there's loads on this show I'm really excited for.
Yeah, Bryan
brings out the best in us.
It's sort of like just chanted away our cynicism, our jaded perspective on wrestling sometimes. So, I am going first. Of course, the stipulation is if Owens and Zayn lose, they remain fired. So there's two ways this can go. Owens and Zayn...
Like mini matches.
Yes. But there's only...
I just wanted to point that out because when you said the three ways, there's only several ways this could go. Actually, there's only three ways this can go.
I mean, it could be a disqualification. Maybe I'm not just talking about the result. Maybe I'm talking about story elements that happen in the action. So, there are two ways that I see this going. Owens and Zayn lose and are thus fired from SmackDown, remain fired, and then they turn up on Raw on Monday night. That is a serious contender, and one that maybe I'm going to go for. The other one is that Shane McMahon turns heel on Daniel Bryan, giving him a much-needed rejuvenation in character. Hopefully, maybe he can pull it off. I mean, he was effectively a heel a couple of weeks ago, and he sides with Owens and Zayn, which makes no sense looking at the larger story. Back to the Zayn heel turn. It really would just be a turn for shock's sake, with no real justification in character or storyline for it. Which is why I think that WWE are going to do it. And it creates a Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan feud that they can run on SmackDown. WWE love McMahon authority figure storylines. So I'm going to go Owens and Zayn win because of a McMahon heel turn. God damn.
I'm actually going to say the exact same thing. I've seen a lot of people this week saying that they think that Daniel Bryan is the one that's going to be turning heel. But it'd be the worst business move. Be the dumbest thing that company, and this company has done some dumb things in its time. Like let's not try to sugarcoat that. This company has done some dumb things in its time. Brock Lesnar losing his first match back after coming back from UFC, being one of them, just one of them. Turning Daniel Bryan at this point, just after he's medically cleared, would be the dumbest thing this company has ever done.
If there's a heel turn at all.
If there's a heel turn at all. But Daniel Bryan in particular would be the dumbest option in that. But I think that Owens and Zayn will win. I think we will get a Shane McMahon heel turn, leading to a Shane Bryan match at SummerSlam. Yeah, that's where I think we're going. And then you can have like Bryan as just being like the bullied underdog on SmackDown Live, not giving any opportunities. It's the land of opportunity, but not for you, Daniel Bryan. It's just the land of opportunity for Owens and Zayn.
So my lady partner has also gone for Owens and Zayn. You'll like this because his name is like Luke's.
It is.
It's exactly like Luke's.
Going by some
Luke
of the
Owens.
I was going to say, some of the people on YouTube seem to think that it is my name.
And I think Shane is the one you take the piss out of on your videos. She's referring to Wrestle Sketch and the high-pitched voice which she likes. What about your lady partner?
You nearly said her name.
Nearly did, yeah.
She has gone for D. Bryan Shane, so she's gone for a babyface victory.
Ronda Rousey and Kurt. Yet another kind of multi-person match. The last one, though, tag match. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Yeah, this is... Triple H has got a lot of work on his hands in this match. He has got to carry 3 other people to...
Kurt can still go. Well, I don't know where you're basing this off of. Survivor Series, he wasn't amazing. But before then, he was having a lot of good matches around the world.
I think Kurt he is still very good. He is not the Kurt Angle of old, is more the point I'm making. But Triple H is still the Triple H of old. He still goes at the same level he did nearly 20 years ago. And so I think that Triple H is going to be the person who can carry this match into being really good. The thing about this, though, the real conversation we had about this is the length of time that it gets. Because we've got to remember this is a Triple H match at WrestleMania. And if there's one thing that Triple H loves at WrestleMania, it's a 25-minute 30 match when it doesn't need to be. And this match needs to have like the Cena, Nikki Bella, Miz and Maurice time length that it had last year, where it's like you just get your 10, 12 minutes and you do your bit and you get out of there. That's what this needs. It doesn't need to go half hour, but I have a bit of a worry it will.
Well, even though it's a tag match rather than a self-indulgent singles match.
Are you trying to say that Triple H can't even see a tag match not being self-indulgent?
Yes, well, yeah,
considering Stephanie's,
I agree with you. But I will defend Kurt Angle. I think he's gonna be very, very good, and we're all gonna go, oh yeah, that's the Kurt Angle because it's WrestleMania.
That's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I'm hoping.
So, did I go? Yeah, you go first this time.
I'm going for Rousey Kurt Angle. I think Rousey is going to tap out Stephanie to win the match. That's the only logical conclusion to this, really.
Yes, same. Ronda Rousey's first match. They've spent so much money on her. She's going to spearhead this women's division. So definitely. I think
she'll
even remain undefeated.
I was about to say the exact same thing. I think she'll be undefeated until Mania next year.
And then you have Streak versus Streak with title on the line. Wowzers. Which works even better, I suppose, if Asuka does move over to SmackDown. Which presumably she must, right? WWE Championship match. AJ Styles defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. But I didn't do the lady partner ones. So my lady partner said Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, because Triple H looks more muscly.
My wife has gone for Rousey and Angle.
Cool.
Team Olympic.
So AJ Styles and Nakamura.
So I got a lot of messages about this yesterday. WWE put up a video on the network. It's called like Chronicle Shinsuke Nakamura. It's this little half-hour mini documentary that kind of tells Nakamura's journey from Royal Rumble up until this point here, just before we go to WrestleMania. In that half hour, it has done more to get me excited about this match than the 4 weeks of build that they've had on SmackDown. So that's, what, 8? No, my maths is terrible. 16 hours worth? 4 times, no, hang on. 4 times 2, it is 8, isn't it? So maths wasn't my strong suit. I'm not very good at maths. 8 hours.
There's maths, though, and then there's 4 times 8.
Yeah, even then, man, I'm really bad at it. I can't, numbers just don't make sense to me. They've done more in this half hour than they have in the 8 hours they've had of TV time to build this match. It's a really great documentary. And while I was watching it, I thought this is Triple H produced, and the second thought I had was just like, man, if Triple H was in charge, they would have cut this up into segments and put this on SmackDown. They'd cut little chunks out of this, similar to the Roderick Strong stuff they did on NXT, and they recently did with TM61 on NXT as well, like when they did their big return. It's great. I highly recommend everyone go and check it out. It's so good, and it just gives Nakamura, it gives him something. Like it's at the moment he's just like, he's Shinsuke Nakamura. He's the artist across the screen. He's the rock star across the screen. This makes him feel like a genuine, real person. If anything, though, one thing it does do, it exposes the business in that Nakamura has got a really good grasp of the English language, but he doesn't do that on TV because that's technically not his character.
No
but he
way.
actually speaks English really, really well. But they don't want to put that up on TV, I guess. Because that's not the character he wants to play. He wants to play this more wacky character that only says certain things in very weird cadences. But it's really, really great. And it's actually told mostly in kayfabe.
I'm going to go for Nakamura.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
A long way of
long
saying
way
that.
that, yeah.
And you?
I'm also going Nakamura.
I mean, he has to, doesn't he?
I think at this point, yeah.
Because he was under. Imagine how much better this build would have been if Nakamura didn't lose to Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam last year.
And TLC.
Yeah, nice one, Jinder. You're
it
still
TLC? No,
ruining matches.
It wasn't TLC, was it? It was
because that was a Raw show.
It was a Raw show. It was one of those shows. He lost at another one.
Hell in a Cell. That was the next one, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was Hell in a Cell.
Undertaker versus John Cena. Ooh.
In big quotation marks here, because
I've worked myself into a shoot, brother.
Have you really?
I'll let you
Tell me more.
I'll let you do your one first.
Well, if this match is happening. If is a big if this match is happening. I've got a video going up about this tomorrow here on Wrestle Talk about how I think this match and build has been absolute genius. It's just a sort of big 5 minutes of me gushing about the how much I love the build they've done for this match and how excited they have made me for a match that isn't even confirmed on a WrestleMania card. If this match is happening, it's got to be Taker. I think Taker is winning.
Okay. Why? It's because last Swan Song?
Yeah, I guess so. Also, I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be the Dead Man Undertaker. Also, I don't think it's going to be American Badass Undertaker. I think it's just going to be Mark Calloway. It's just going to be a real life. But if it is like, if they're not just going to do the confrontation, I could definitely see him coming out as just like as Mark Calloway. I'm not here to do character. I'm not here to be the Undertaker. I'm not the Dead Man. I'm not the American Badass. But I'm a man, and you took things too far when you said those things about me, boy. And I'm going to teach you some respect. No, go old school, and take you down my yard, and do all that sort of Undertaker stuff that he does.
I'm going to say NA.
So you think it's not going to happen at all?
Yes.
Is this your cheating prediction?
No. It's me. Look, it's a lot more realistic for me to say Taker or Cena. I'm going to go a third way because sometimes singles matches can have three possible outcomes. I was, and I have been so adamant that this match is happening. Mm-hmm. And that, for quite a long time, because that's what Dave Meltzer said, and Dave Meltzer's very reliable, contrary to what a lot of people say. And it wasn't just Meltzer, it was other places as well. Undertaker was in training, you could see that with Michelle McCool's posts and stuff. John Cena has been building up the match for ages on Raw television, but they've never confirmed it. So they do have an out. Of course, everyone expects it to happen, and that is why I think it's Undertaker's going to show up. Maybe John Cena finally gets in the ring late in the show, not main event level, but just before, and he does one last call out of Taker. Lights go down, comes up, he's there. They shoot like a physical angle, so you do get a bit of physicality, but then they somehow set up a match for WrestleMania 35, and that replicates that Rock John Cena WrestleMania 27 into 28 model. Still the highest grossing pay-per-view ever. Of course, that isn't really the era now. We're in network buys. But you can have a year-long build for that match. And I just feel like 35. That feels like a more momentous number. Weirdly, anything divisible by 5 feels better, doesn't it, than 34? So you get like WrestleMania 20, 25, 30, 35. That's...
Will they call it the 35th anniversary of WrestleMania?
Well, maybe at the 50th or the 40th, but not at 35. So I think it's just going to be an angle. And this comes from... I didn't really think this until Mike Johnson of PW Insider said this on Tuesday, I believe, where he said, look, I've only heard he's scheduled to appear. I haven't heard he's scheduled to wrestle. And at first I was outraged. How dare they? This has got to be a match. But the more I've thought about it, I actually think this is the better idea. Mm-hmm. And I cannot believe I'm saying that. I've worked myself into a shoot, brother.
Do you know what? I'm in agreement with you. I think that it's... To build it up until next year would be better than just giving it to us here. Mm-hmm. But if it is happening here, I think Undertaker is winning. But my preferred option would be that confrontation and you build up to a Mania match next year.
my lady partner agrees with me completely separately. I haven't told her this. She says John Cena as maybe the Undertaker won't show up and he's not really coming out of retirement.
Well.
I mean, she says Taker's not showing up at all, which is that's next level trolling on WWE part.
My wife has picked the Undertaker.
Right.
If the match happens.
So Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Here's a real main event for you.
And, unpredictable as the main event. Well, it must be the main event.
I think it will be the main event.
Yeah. I mean, Roman Reigns.
What else would be the main event if it's not this match?
Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey match.
No.
The John Cena Taker.
Unless the Rousey match is going half an hour.
Or Cena Taker.
Yeah, possibly. But it's of all the matches on this card, this is the one that I can definitely see being the most main event level match. It's interesting that neither of us said AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura there, but I think that's going to get the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt spots from last year, where it's just sort of like third or fourth from top. I think it was third from top maybe.
So are we both going Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I think Reigns is winning it. Yeah, that's undeniable, that, mate.
The only real intrigue, really, it'll be a well-worked match, but I don't think it's going to be dramatically engaging.
I don't know, man. Actually, no, you are right. It isn't going to be dramatically engaging. However, I keep going back to this. Their Mania 31 match was great. It was really, really good.
But, yeah, good in ring, but, if I'm not invested in the characters, there's only so much I can enjoy the match. And especially when the audience is going against the grain of what the match is saying as well.
But it's interesting you say that, though, because throughout this whole year, when we've been predicting Brock Lesnar matches, you've always been saying, I'm really looking forward to this because I really like a Brock Lesnar match.
Yes.
And, Brock Lesnar was in your top 10 of the year, I believe he was.
Yeah.
You're invested in Brock, right?
I am invested in Brock in the right opponent. I was not invested in Brock versus Kane versus Strowman, but I was super invested in Lesnar versus Styles. The SummerSlam match, the SummerSlam
But even though you knew that
Samoa
Lesnar
Joe,
was always winning those.
so the SummerSlam one had doubt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was around the time where Lesnar had supposedly re-entered himself into the USADA drug testing pool. There was a lot of speculation he might lose. Likewise, before the Samoa Joe match, a few people were like, yeah, Joe actually might win this.
Oh, no, I always knew Lesnar.
But yeah, I know, but at least there was a little bit of doubt. This is... plus, as great as Roman Reigns is in ring, I don't like him. I don't like the character that he plays. I don't like the way he's booked. So it's like the popular opinion, the mainstream opinion is Roman Reigns isn't working. Then there's a contrarian opinion is, yeah, but he's such a great wrestler. And we sort of saw it in the Wrestle Talk 100 where Roman Reigns featured quite highly in a lot of people's top 20s. I cannot comprehend that because... he's not even in the... he's a very good wrestler, but there's no way he's in the top 20 wrestlers in the world because the quality is so high. The only way I can see that happening is because people have fallen into this contrarian mindset. And I was there for a bit because after a while you get sick of ragging on Roman Reigns for so long. You start to go to the other way. You think that maybe he's not so bad. He does put on good matches, yada, yada, yada. But the build for this show, I've gone the other way. I'm just like, you know what? Or maybe a middle ground bit. I really appreciate his in-ring work. The poor guy has been given this thankless task of Vince McMahon's pet project that the majority, or at least a vocal portion, are not accepting. And it's not working for me. And it's just the latest part of something not working. I'm sick of it, to be honest. So, I'm not invested in this match.
I am in that pool where I'm just like, Roman Reigns is I wouldn't have put him in the top 20, I don't think, but I think that he is a incredible in-ring talent. I think that he puts on really, really great matches. I think he's consistently put on really great matches, particularly on pay-per-view and on TV. I think that can't be denied. But like you, WWE sort of shot themselves in the foot by giving him a crap character that people do sometimes get behind. I think they really had a chance to make this work this time. When they started doing the Brock not showing up, and then they started doing it with Vince McMahon, I think they had a really good shot of making Roman Reigns work in this main event. But then Lesnar just came back, and then all that McMahon stuff was dropped, and then it was just, now it's a different feud, and now it doesn't... I'm less interested in it now than I was when they first did that Why Isn't Brock Here, when Brock was no showing events. Or when he showed up and just did that 15-second match against Kane. That was a much more interesting Brock Lesnar. It was a much more interesting Roman Reigns. Now it just feels like any other Roman Reigns feud, and I'm less interested in that. But I do think this is going to be a really, really good match.
No.
Fair enough.
I disagree. Well, it will be a good match, like I said, but I won't be invested in it. Anna
That's
has
literally
also...
what I just said.
But my argument is that a good match then?
No, but I think there is an argument to be made that it is a really good match, but it's a match that I don't care about. I think that exists. That world, it does exist.
Yeah, but I just think the wording's off. Like it's a very well worked in-ring match, but the match as a whole, I factor in commentary or the crowd reactions and the story going into it, and from all that, especially if Michael Cole's commentating,
But that would take something from a really great match into an incredible match.
No, I think it can work the other way too.
You think so? You can go from a really great match into a quite pants match?
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my lady
I don't think you're wrong, by the way.
has gone for Roman Reigns.
My wife has picked Brock Lesnar.
Oh, really?
Yes. Bearing in mind that the last time my wife did this was when it was Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. And who was laughing then?
My lady partner didn't she'd heard Brock Lesnar a lot because I talk about him a lot at home because he's quite a big news story a lot of the time. Not to the extent where he throws stuff at buses, but still a pretty big news story.
He was a fan.
And she didn't know what he looked like. So she Googled both men. She was appalled at what Brock Lesnar looked like.
Really?
She was like, I did not expect him to look like that. He looks so nasty. He just looks horrible. It's like, yeah, that's why he's awesome. Yeah. It's just, and then I was like, in my head, when you have conversations in your head and then you do not say that, Ollie. I was like, you should see his wife. And I was like, why did you even think that, Ollie? And it was just so I could look at Sable.
Oh,
I
mate.
think. So luckily I didn't say that out loud. And we're 51 minutes into the podcast, so she won't know that I thought that in my head. So that's all of the predictions. Hopefully, oh God, we didn't come up with any unified predictions. Which was a lot.
Yeah, that was a whole point to this, weren't we? We were meant to pick reunified ones, so let's quickly go through.
Okay. So, Women's Battle Royal.
Have I got to try and make my argument for Becky?
No, what do you think Becky more than Banks?
I think Becky more than Banks.
Because I think Banks more than Becky, but I'm willing to concede to Becky because sometimes you get the Banks and Bayley storyline can exist on its own terms, like you said they can. But whereas Becky could get a nice push out of it.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is that the Banks and Bayley thing doesn't need this Battle Royal in order to further the story, whereas Becky can use this to kind of get a bit of momentum into the rest of the year and maybe put herself into some title contention with Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah. Next one is, of course, we've both gone for Matt Hardy to win. And we've both gone for Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yep.
Both gone for Braun.
But do we know if Bryan is also predicting a partner?
No.
So we've both gone for Braun.
Both gone for Braun. Tag Team Championships.
I'm going to say we'll go with your Bludgeon Brothers pick.
Yes, I'm glad you've decided that. For United States Championship, I think we should go with Rude.
I think it's a better option than Rusev.
Yeah, that's
as much as I would love Rusev to win.
Intercontinental title, Miz or Rollins? I'm willing to go to Rollins.
Yeah?
Yeah, your pick.
I was about to concede to Miz. But we'll go with Rollins.
Jax, we both went for the women's title.
Yep.
We both went for Asuka for the SmackDown ones. Owens and Zayn.
Luckily enough, we're on...
Ronda Rousey. Everything else is consistent, apart from the Undertaker John Cena
In which case, I think you are very much right.
Really?
I think we're going to get the confrontation and set up for Mania next year.
Okay, so that's our prediction there. Comment below what you think your predictions are going to be in each match. Maybe we'll put up a few polls like we did.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people said that we missed off the ladder match in the poll yesterday. It's because we can only have 5 options.
Yeah. Yeah, that was annoying because I wrote it all out and I was like, bollocks. I mean, I don't think Killian Dane's not going to win, but I can't leave him out of the options. So that's why that didn't happen. And yes, click the videos that have just appeared on our laps to catch up with the latest Wrestle Talk news and Bryan Zayn's prediction show. Hopefully it's here. It's already been posted. And subscribe to this channel because we've got plenty of stuff going up over WrestleMania weekend and the days after. This has been Luke Owen. I've been Ollie Davis. And that was Rambling.